Now we will discuss pH of salts. As बच्चे salts can be prepared from an acid and base, and बच्चे acids and base are of different nature. Acids can be strong and weak, as well as bases can be strong and weak. So what happens when a strong acid and strong base combines together? What happens when a strong acid and a weak base combines together? That will affect the pH of the salt. As if we take a strong acid and weak base, then a salt formed, but that salt contains more hydrogen ion in it, so the pH of that salt is slightly acidic. So the salts have also a different kind of pH. On what basis it depends? On the basis of nature of acids and base which we use to form them. एक सॉल्ट का पीएच किस बात पर डिपेंड करेगा बच्चे? वो इस बात पर डिपेंड करेगा कि कौन सा एसिड और कौन सा बेस हम रिएक्ट करवा रहे हैं, कौन सा एसिड और कौन सा बेस हम यूज कर रहे हैं. तो पहला है बच्चे, when a strong acid reacts with a strong base, then the salt is almost neutral. The pH of that salt is almost 7. So that salt is neutral. Second, when strong acid and weak base reacts, then slightly acidic salt is formed. That is pH less than 7. जब बच्चे हम एक स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड और एक वीक बेस लेंगे तो जो सॉल्ट बनेगा उसमें हाइड्रोजन आयन कंसंट्रेशन थोड़ी सी ज्यादा होगी, और जिस भी केस में या जिस भी सॉल्यूशन में हाइड्रोजन आयन कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा होती है, दैट इज कंसीडर्ड एज स्लाइटली एसिडिक. द नेक्स्ट वन, द रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ इट, वीक एसिड एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस. Weak acid and weak base we'll discuss after that. Okay? Weak acid and strong base, when they will react with each other, then the salt formed is slightly basic in nature. That is, its pH is slightly greater than or more than 7. As we all aware, bache, that the pH greater than 7 is for basic substances, for the basic materials. The last one is when both acid and base are weak. They do not ionize completely. When a weak acid and weak base reacts, then also almost neutral pH salt is formed. Likewise, strong acid and strong base. So that's how the pH of salts depends on the nature of an acid and base. Now, we'll discuss this by the help of examples. As we discussed already, NaCl, Na positive and Cl negative. With positive charge ion we place hydroxide and we get the base. Positive charge के साथ क्या लगाते हैं? Hydroxide ion. तो NaOH base है बच्चे, which is a strong base. और negative charge के साथ hydrogen, तो HCl, which is a strong acid. So strong base and strong acid, the salt would be neutral. So these kind of questions also may be a part of your question paper, of your class 10th question paper. Which salt is formed? Sorry, which acid and base is involved in the formation of NaCl salt? And what is the pH of NaCl? So by which formula you can find, bache? First you will depict the nature of acid and base involved in the formation of that salt. पहले हम सबसे पहले ये फाइंड करेंगे कि उस सॉल्ट को बनाने में कौन सा एसिड और कौन सा बेस यूज हो रहा है. उसके बाद हम उसके पीएच के बारे में बता पाएंगे. सेकेंड एग्जांपल इज कैल्शियम सल्फेट. फॉर दैट फर्स्ट we'll divide it into its ions, calcium ion and sulfate ion. It will form calcium hydroxide or calcium oxide also. Both of these are salts, beta. And here H2SO4. it is a strong acid and it is a weak base. So the salt formed by strong acid and weak base is slightly acidic in nature. बेटा स्ट्रॉन्ग इफेक्ट किसका आ रहा है? एसिड का. तो ये जो सॉल्ट बनेगा दैट इज स्लाइटली एसिडिक इन नेचर. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल, पोटेशियम फॉस्फेट. This salt is formed by KOH as a base. Positively charged ion came from base in a salt, and negatively charged ion, that is PO4 3 negative, will came from acid. So phosphoric acid is a weak acid, and KOH is a strong base. So this salt is slightly basic in nature. Next we can discuss about ammonium acetate. In this salt, the negative charge ion is written before a first hand as compared to ammonium ion. This is composed of two ions. The first one is ammonium ion, NH4 1 positive, and the negatively charged ion, that is acetate ion, CH3COO negative. Positive charge ion came from base, so the base would be NH4OH. Positively charged ion base से आता है बच्चे, तो उसके साथ OH negative जोड़ दो, तो क्या बन जाएगा? Ammonium hydroxide. This is the base involved in this, which is weak base. And the acid is acetic acid, CH3COOH. Its common name is vinegar, which is also a weak acid. So when weak base and weak acid reacts with each other, the nature of the salt is neutral. So that's how you can find whether the nature of salt is either acidic, basic, or neutral. How? First, find the acid and base involved in it. If both the acid and base are strong or weak, then the salt is approximately or nearly neutral at pH, that is its pH is approximately 7. If a strong acid reacts with weak base, then the salt contains more hydrogen ion and that pH is less than 7. That is, the salt is slightly acidic in nature. And if a weak acid and strong base reacts with each other to form salt, then salt will be slightly basic in nature, that is its pH is greater than 7.